Okay, so in this first video, we're going to talk about properties of polynomials. I'm going to go through a lot of vocab in this one. So a variable, this is a quantity that may change within the context of a mathematical problem. So these examples include x, y, z, but those aren't the only variables you can use. Any letter to represent something we don't know. A monomial is a constant, variable, or a product of the two. But remember here that it's always going to be one term. A polynomial, on the other hand, is the sum or difference of monomials. So we have like terms. These are terms that have the same variables raised to the same exponents. So for example, an x and an x would be the same variable, same exponent of 1, or x squared and x squared. But we can't do x and x squared. They're not the same exponent there. So we can remember that a monomial has one term. So examples there might be like 4x and x squared. Binomials have two unlike terms, because if there are two like terms, they could be combined to be a monomial. So binomial, two unlike terms. And some examples might include x squared plus 2, 4x plus 1, or 2x squared plus x. So unlike terms there. Trinomials are three unlike terms. So remember 1, 2, or 3 terms. Monomial, binomial, trinomial. Okay, let's talk about simplest standard form. So when the polynomial contains no like terms and terms are in order from the largest exponent term to the smallest exponent term. So if we looked at this example here, the way I put things in standard form is I go through and I figure out, okay, well, which one is my highest exponent? So if I look, I can see that my highest one here is an exponent of 3. So I have a 5x to the third and a 2x to the third. Those have the same exponent, so I can put them together. So that would be how many all together? That's 5, 6, 7x cubed. So that would go first. Then I would go through and say, okay, well, now which one's next? Well, the next highest exponent is x squared. I only have one of them, so it's the sign with that. That's plus 8x squared. Then I go back through and I see, okay, now all that's left is my 7 here, so that's going to be what's left, positive, so plus 7 at the end there. So that's how we take something and put it into standard form. Remember to always do the sign with it. Okay, some more vocab. Coefficient. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So that's whatever number's out front. Degree of a polynomial, that's the highest exponent in a polynomial. So what's nice there is if it's in standard form, it's going to be whatever exponent is first, because that should be the highest. Our constant term, that is the fixed number added or subtracted without a variable. And lastly, the leading coefficient, that's the coefficient of the first term when it's in standard form, so whoever's in the lead. So now if we look at this example here, I can identify those pieces with that information that we just went over. So this right here out front, I can see that this is in standard form first of all because the highest exponent is first and it goes down from there. So 2, 1, no exponent. So now I can see the number in front, that's the leading coefficient, so I'll label that. Then if I see here, this number here, that's the highest exponent I see, so that's going to be the degree of the polynomial. Then this thing down here, this is pointing to here and here. Well, that's pointing at my x. The x there is the variable. And lastly, I have this out here, the number by itself, no variable. That's the constant term. Okay, now we'll use this some more in class.